Hi, welcome to this month's Commissioner Corner. My name is Claire Wool. I'm the school board chair. And on behalf of the Burlington School Board, we welcome this opportunity each month to have our taping at CCTV here in Burlington to update the public on what we're doing within the district. And today is a follow-up from a number of visits that we have had with Brian Leet, Senior Project Manager of Freeman French Freeman, on the development of our Burlington High School and Burlington Technical Center campus at 52 Institute Road. So today is going to be our summer/fall update. And really the goal will be to show the public all the updated photos, professional photos that we have at the campus, and walk through the evolution of each of the parts of the campus. And so we're excited to have you along. So let's get started. Brian?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be here. It's been a big day. I think we're going to talk through a lot of construction progress across the city, really.
Yes.
And like we've done before, my thought was a little bit of a virtual tour. We have a few minutes here to look at some pictures. So we have, I'm going to start with some photos I took this morning. I went out in the nice weather to get some images around the building, and then we'll end with some drone pictures from actually 1 week ago, so very similar. And the first one is looking at the front of the building as if you were approaching kind of up the hill from the athletic fields side. And we're seeing the main entrance, what we're calling Building A on the left, which has technical center and art type programs, and then to the right would be the administrative kind of portion of the building over the entrance.
And so this road right here, this is not Institute Road. This is the driveway of the school, so we're calling it the driveway?
The drop-off, yeah, the drop-off lane. And so during the current thinking is during arrival time, it will be an opportunity for a bus lane. Mm-hmm. But then during the regular day, that lane will be, there's some parking off of it. It's right near the front office, so it's a place where visitors to the building can come and park, go right in, meet with whatever administrator's guidance, student interaction they have to do, and then not occupy Institute Road or have to cross the street from the other side.
So in the past, there was a bus loop where the city buses pulled in separate from the school up on North Avenue. So luckily that has been eliminated, and all the buses, city buses and school buses, I think we only own 3 in the district, and our transportation carrying school children will use this driveway specifically.
So one of the things we heard during early feedback on the project from the city was that the transit use should be prioritized, so we've got this opportunity for buses to come right to the front door of the building.
Fantastic. Thank you. So next picture.
Again, right at the entrance, now we're standing looking directly at, and you can start to see in the lower part of the picture the glasses going in at what will be the kind of front office entry zone where you come in during the school day when the doors are closed and locked. That will be the space where you can come in, speak to a receptionist, and get buzzed into the building or have somebody come and get you. We're also looking right through the area where the structure to support the bell will be. So there's been a lot of discussion. All the students, when they arrive their freshman year, ring the bell coming into high school. When they depart at the end of the senior year, ring the bell for graduation. And that will be a feature right near the front entry here.
Very cool. And I know the amount of glass that we have ordered. I know St. Albans glass. I've seen different vendors. Everybody is starving for windows based on our Macy's existence and our other properties that we've had to lease to conduct school for the last 5 years. How exciting has it been, or handling that much glass with a vendor?
I think it's been, it's obviously a large building, so the quantities are large, but I think we really aimed to be strategic about the locations of glass. So while there is quite a bit in certain areas of the building and these dramatic glass walls, there are other areas which have accordingly less. You don't have any in the auditorium, of course, and you don't have much in the gym. So it is quite a bit, but it's also very strategically placed to bring daylight into the learning spaces and the social spaces.
And you know what we noticed on our tours? We've been giving monthly tours to BHS and BTC faculty and staff to get them acclimated and excited about their teaching spaces. Many people have commented about the hall, the stairwell cases, the staircases that go up to the second, from the lower level, first floor, second, third floor, that have windows
Yes.
looking out to the south.
Yes, so you have a sense of where you are. Having a window like that helps you orient. You know which side of the building you're on. You obviously can see how weather changes, and it also provides a little sense of the security of seeing movement in the building and approachability of the building.
Right, and we were saying, efficiency as well, for light and all those good things that in a dark place you need more lighting. So thank you.
This is a quick image of the courtyard. So there was a lot of discussion early on about having the courtyard. So this is from one of the kind of what a classroom or a corridor view into the courtyard would be as you were in the classroom wing. Then proceeding to the main commons, we've talked, I think, for people who might have seen this before, about this 3-story commons. And on the lower level, you can see they're in the process of installing the terrazzo flooring. And so the pattern we're seeing there is the rough product. It has not been polished down, so it looks very kind of gray now, but it's going to be very brilliant with flecks of stone and chips like you would see in an airport for terrazzo.
And so durability, reasons why we chose that, do you want to just share with the public?
Yeah, it's an incredibly durable material, and it's also essentially a seamless material. So that floor functions as the main entry at the primary front south door. It's where people come in and out when they're going to the auditorium or the gym. It's also the cafeteria space for lunches. So it will take wear and abuse, and terrazzo is just a good long-term material, very easily cleaned and very easily maintained.
And the durability.
And it should look as good in 30 years as it does when it's put in.
Wonderful. And so tell us, I know we're entering in this photo, to the right would be the front entrance, as you shared. The lower level floor is the cafeteria common space. And cafeteria, will there be fixed tables, or what is, I mean, I know the answer, but just to explain.
So the main seating through the center of the space will be movable tables. A majority of the seating during lunch hour will be, I guess you'd call them traditional cafeteria tables that can be folded up or left. There are also some more, I'll say, cafe-style tables that could be left for other events. And at the perimeter of the space is a built-in seating, like a bench, essentially, along the wall. So where you see the stair coming down, there will be a bench kind of built into that wall. And to the right of the image, a little half wall with a bench built in.
And I know that our goal in opening a new ADA accessible building speaks volumes to all the input that everybody gave us. And strategically, where are the elevators located? I know as you walk in the front door, do you want to share?
Sure. As you look at this image, there is an elevator. It would be immediately to the right. Which is very close to the second level entrance, which is actually where most of the nearest located ADA parking spaces are on the campus. It's also directly off the cafeteria seating area, and then at each end of the 2 wings of the building. So we have 3 elevators spread through the building so that wherever you are, you're nearby one of the elevators, and they're all adjacent to one of the main circulation stairs, so that somebody who's using the elevator doesn't have to detach so much from the group that they're with. They might just use the elevator and re-meet the group on a level up or down.
Great. And if we can go back to the levels on that last picture, so we understand the entry level, the lobby level is the base floor right there with the terrazzo floor, and the entrance to the beginning of the stairwell that goes 1 level up only. So that stairwell has 2 breaks, but it moves students and faculty and staff 1 level up to the second floor. On the second floor, I see the railing, and I know that there is glass within that railing. Can you explain what that second floor the goal of just that area is?
Yeah, so it's an extension of that same area. During lunchtime, it might be that you have some tables up here for some overflow for students. To the left, you can see the daylight streaming in from the south windows. There's actually a small patio at that second level outside of those windows with a railing. So a space that students could go to that is outside, but still within the kind of protected zone of the school. They're not kind of wandering the campus or wandering off the campus. As you described, the railing will be glass, and then immediately to the right is, as I said, the door from the parking. And the direction we are looking, there are double doors. It's a little hard to see in this picture, but that's going straight into the gymnasium. So the gym is just beyond the wall in front of us.
So that's second floor gym. Again, an extension of meeting area for students, faculty and staff, all on that second floor. And then third floor, what am I looking at, those windows?
Yeah, so the windows we're seeing on the left side is the library. And really what we're seeing straight ahead is additional spaces that are part of that library suite, I'll call it. So it's a little studio for recording podcasts or videos, and a little maker space with that sort of fabrication support for the general student population in the library.
Great, thank you.
And then we love to show off, I think we've seen before, but this beautiful skylight at the top of the space really brings in amazing light into all of this. And on a clear blue day like this, you can see the contrast between the clear glass and the Solera panels, which are a diffusing glass that bring light through and give it much more of a diffuse look.
And so that pattern is intentional. I loved hearing that and explaining that on the tour. So the intentional pattern of the diffused light so that it's not glaring, and that the available light, which will help with, again, efficiencies and positivity of, a well-lit place.
Yep, and you can start to see it on the right-hand wall where the clear glass creates very like streaks of glare. You don't see glare coming through where the translucent glass is.
Thank you. Next picture, we can move on.
So I just mentioned the gym. It's coming along really well. We're actually getting very close to being able to put the floor in the gym, which is a big milestone for a project like this. We're seeing acoustic fabric-wrapped panels up on the walls. The entire roof deck is also an acoustic deck, so it's got perforations with a soft material up in that roof deck. And a product called Cow Wall, a translucent product up at the top, and you can see the daylight coming in through the top of the wall there as well.
Fantastic. And I know the old BHS had leaky skylights, so no skylights.
No skylights in this room.
Okay.
That one skylight we saw is the one skylight on the project.
Got it. This is another great view of the...
And this is we're seeing more of the gym. So the total size of the gym is 3 cross-court basketball courts, one behind that kind of semi-wall where there will be a partition that can be drawn across to separate it off, and then a full varsity gym on the near side. And we're seeing the scoreboard right up in the upper right for that varsity gym.
Fantastic.
Event.
And the school colors, navy and white. Very cool. That's exciting. Next slide. Thank you.
So now a detour into some more basics. So here's a typical multi-stall bathroom. You can see one of the doors is open. So within this, you have the individual stalls with toilets, and then immediately to the right, not quite installed yet, will be all the sinks and plumbing. And these a bathroom similar to this occurs in 3 locations through the project as a general use bathroom. So because it's got individual stalls, it's all gender neutral and usable by whoever needs to use it. And I'm excited just by the way the tile is kind of coming together in there and just giving it a nice clean look.
Right, and nice wood doors. Yep.
Yeah.
Durability is key.
And it's a little hard to see, but all the doors do have those indicators that say occupied or
not.
unoccupied,
Yep,
so you don't
I saw
have to
that.
test them. A couple shots of locker rooms. This is the one at the lower level that would support essentially either visiting teams or maybe even overflow needs for the athletic fields across the street. And it's got its own little bathrooms at the far end. And then the next image is the locker room, a more typical like daily use locker room for phys ed classes in the school, with some of the restroom facilities on the right and the typical kind of class period lockers on the left.
Fantastic. I know our students, that was when we had student input on the new development and the build of the campus, lockers and places that students utilize a lot and have many things that they bring to school, whether it's boots or jackets or coats or
Right.
equipment, and to be able to have those spaces that are dedicated to that type of storage, and that it did not exist at old BHS. So this is, it did not exist in the current things. Students couldn't fit their
Where
items
they
in
were.
the old
Yeah.
lockers because they were so narrow. It
And
was
we
sort
do
of before
have kind
backpacks.
of a new configuration where, in addition to the more general lockers, we have 4 team rooms, so that we can have kind of team allocated lockers that don't take up necessary space in the daily phys ed, like gym class
Yes.
locker space.
Yeah, that's great.
And then this is the kind of the traditional. You see a school, you expect to see a corridor with lockers running down the walls. We actually have this on 3 levels with the traditional lockers.
Yep.
And it's exciting to start to see spaces that really tell you this is a high school.
Yes, without a doubt. And like we said, updating those lockers with space and size to fit backpacks now and other things that, again, we have been without, or students, it'll be new for students. So we talked about, implementing the sign-up policy. I know we didn't put a locker in the school for every student because some students do not want one or need one, like to have everything on their persons.
Yep.
And I thought that was a smart decision on behalf. But the building with the most, all of the classrooms on each level is that wide, and we made that hallway wider where the
Yep.
lockers are, so that as you're inevitably backing up, opening up, and dropping off things in your locker, it's a width that won't create a traffic jam.
And the building that has the classrooms that we call Building C, there is kind of a main corridor that runs east-west through all the buildings, A, B, and C, and then this corridor runs north, so it's not, it's like a side street. It's
Yeah,
not
not
the
in the
main
flow.
street, so it should allow for a little bit of a calmer activity around going in and out of the lockers. It's not right in front of very many classrooms.
Yes.
There's also a bathroom in the teacher room here. And then this is a room, this is just an example of a corridor that's getting really close to looking finished. This is actually along the gym, so the gym is on the right-hand side of the wall, and to the left is, on this case, I believe, some BTC tech center classrooms. But it also starts to show, what I love is that all of our corridors have some daylight at the end. So here you can see, kind of looking down the corridor, that hint of light that really kind of makes the whole space, I think, more welcoming.
Absolutely, and the variation of the pattern of the floor tile.
And I should say there's some protection mat down on the right. That brown is not a finished thing. That's just there to protect the floor where people walk.
Absolutely. And then above, I love, if you go back one, when we originally started this project, the shell of the building, there are the trackings above you within the ceiling, and they were all empty. And with each month that goes by, more gets added.
Stuff.
And what are those, like, what, in essence, not that to the detail, but what is the HVAC system that goes throughout the building?
Yeah, so we see ductwork there that's throughout the building, and then of course there's power, and what we're also seeing in the yellow and blue is data cables that run throughout the building. So that's all the internet for all the functions throughout the building.
It's so impressive. Whoever invented that type of gridding rather than not going through walls.
Yeah, it's a lot to organize too. Every piece of wire has a label at each end, so you know where it goes to.
I am impressed. And then from that, we will cover it up with soft panels.
Yeah, ceiling tiles.
Ceiling
We'll
tiles.
fill in the rest of that.
Great. Thank you so much.
And then the end, just a quick shot. I love this spot. This is going to be a place at the end of each of the levels, 1, 2, and 3. There's a little bench here kind of behind you, and it's just the end of the corridor in a space, I think, where you can take a deep breath and decompress.
And right here, you're looking at where?
So we're looking to the west, southwest, essentially. You can see the bit of the field across the street, and the trees on the right-hand portion of the photo are down towards North Beach.
Great. And so that sidewalk leads right to the athletic fields, and then to the right, as if you would see cars going by to head to North Beach.
Yep.
Right. Got it. Thank you.
Another kind of cool little space is our multi-purpose forum. This is on the north side of the building. It's a little bit of like a black box theater look. There will be a darker gray wall on the lower portion of that wall eventually as well, but also a great view outside.
And that was asked by a bunch of our educators, faculty and staff, and students, that if you had a class that you wanted to perform or have an audience, but you didn't need the entire theater to make it feel so cavernous, that could we have a performance space or a gathering space or a meeting space or a community space for the city? This was that space that we envisioned, and it has come out so well. I know that we have shades if it was too bright, but the sun really is on the front side of the building, so you're not going to get that glare. And you're looking out into the north of the building, into the Arms Forest and the faculty entrance. So again, what a great surprise. And it was the minimalist of the fact that we can make this space utilize. Someone had said, a faculty said, how are we going to sign up for these spaces to utilize them for our classes? And I said, that is a whole nother, committee on itself, that we'll do it diplomatically. But I mean, so much energy around utilizing these spaces that are student-centered. Yeah. Amazing.
And I think the last few images here we have are just progress of the auditorium. Sophisticated space, multi-story, where there's about 710 something fixed seats, and then capacity for about 50 more movable seats in there, so 760 or so. This view from a very high vantage point is actually the control room view. We're excited because the control room is right at a floor level, so anybody can access and operate the controls during shows. And you can start to see below, there's two wings on the balcony, and I think the third view is actually our balcony view looking in at the stage. So this space is really coming along. We can now see all the shape to it. Most of the ceiling install is in place, but there's still a ways to go. This will probably be the last space that's finished up as we wrap up construction in March, and they install seating, because the seating will be one of the last things to go in the project.
Understood. So there's so much to unpack here, because this is beyond, for us, or the people that the public that has been past BHS alumni, music, drama, anyone who has visited our old auditorium, and the thought that we would be able to have a space that first is accessible. Our old auditorium was not accessible. You had to enter through the side door because of the steps going down. So it's accessible. We have a company that specializes in theater, auditorium.
So we had acoustic consultants as well as theater rigging and lighting consultants help us design the space, and audio visuals as well designed into the space. So it's all going to be pretty state-of-the-art, very modern, and I think the opportunity is to really figure out how both the school but also the community can take best advantage of it.
Absolutely. And we used to say that the old BHS, we would have to, work around a lot of the kinks from a 1958, 60s building, but to where we are now in 2025 and the advancement in technology, some things stay the same, like the rigging and the proscenium and the floor, like you had shared. I know that they talked about the choral and music department wanted to make sure that there was space for the risers up front for performances. We did not create a space. We chose that size of space based on a number of factors, but any all-school assembly would happen in the gymnasium with all the bleachers, but that the goal would be to, always pick a number based on the usage that we had in the past that would create a full house, and that wouldn't feel so cavernous and not be cost-effective to build. So appreciate the size and scale. It's a raked floor, like any theater, but the building of that, and originally the last pictures we saw when you were here last was all the scaffolding that had to go on the uneven base floor to do all the ceiling work. And so the unique part about this build is the balcony feature, having seating upstairs. And again, that seating is accessible through elevators, and as well as any student that is participating or working, it is accessible. And I know our music department and our theater director have all seen the space and the support rooms that are around the sides of it as well, and are so excited.
So we have a few exterior shots. I think we've seen a lot of these, and these are what you can see as you go by the site. So we can maybe move through these quickly, because I know there's a couple other topics you want to get to.
Yes.
But this is the south face of the building. As I said, these are 8 days ago. Our foliage, unfortunately, is a little bit past this.
No, but I love the red.
And huge credit to our drone, the drone photo.
It's the coolest.
The southwest view, you can start to see kind of that A building in the foreground, and as we go around on the northwest side, you'll see the parking lots up above. We've gotten this question a few times. The amount of parking on site is almost identical to what it was before this whole project, much like the building square footage is very similar. So it should meet the needs just as well as it previously did. And then here is the north entry, looking back over the building and back to the city of Burlington at the top of the frame.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, and thank the drone. I mean, those aerial photos say it all.
Yeah, so Dave Armstrong, huge shout out, Dave. He's done a great job taking drone photos for us every week to track the progress of the project.
Fantastic. And I know Whiting Turner has the time lapse as well, like when we think about where we came from to where we are. So let's talk about timeline.
Yeah, so the building we're same timeline if you've been tuning in. We're still on track for the April 2nd substantial completion. That will be the building substantial completion. We have identified, we are now getting into November. There are certain things out on the site that still have to happen that cannot happen in the middle of the winter, like planting new plants on the eastern portion of the site where the job trailers still are. So there will be some activities especially that eastern part of the site near North Avenue in May and June of next year. But the building itself will be completed April 2nd. And I think it will be a winter where there won't be a lot to see on the outside because we have it pretty close to buttoned up. I think you'll see activity over the next month to 2 months, and then everything will be the work inside to finish it out.
Amazing. And then I know we want to share, so thank you so much for that timeline. It's great to know that we're still on budget and we're still on time.
Absolutely.
And the goal would be for us, to be able to have that breathing room as we enter the end of the school year, the move that will take place so that, honestly, by the middle summer, we're ready for students, even though, our projected goal was to have students entering at the end of August for the 2026 school year.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So today we were a part of something really special. The Burlington Technical Center had its ribbon cutting for our space that serves I'll tell you the 4 different Burlington Technical Center programs: the Automotive Science and Technology, the Aviation Aerospace Technology, the Design Engineering and Fabrication program, and then the post-secondary airframing and power plant aviation that we've always had at the airport. But to be able to envision a space where these 4 programs can coexist after being in transient places the last 5 years with the closure of our BTC BHS campus in 2020, this was an exciting day. And I know that the Superintendent Flanagan spoke, the Mayor spoke, Marty Spalding from PCI spoke, Nick Longo from the airport also spoke, and I spoke. And it was first and foremost immense gratitude to former Senator Patrick Leahy for the congressional grant that was given to us of $10 million for this type of learning and programming and education to develop workforce development here in the state of Vermont. And we couldn't be more appreciative. Without it, this would not have become a reality. And so today marks the beginning of so many bright futures for our students. And I just want to extend a tremendous gratitude to our Burlington Technical Center Director, Jason Reed, who over the last couple of years under his leadership not only has worked so effectively with his faculty and staff, but families. We serve ascending schools here in Chittenden County that come and participate in our Burlington Tech Center programs. And his leadership again, acknowledging all the BTC faculty and staff that made not only the last 5 years tenable and exciting and inspiring for our students, but have leaned in to work and create this magnificent space that we will open to the public to be able to take a tour and show it off, because it is a community investment. Again, all of this building and this opportunity for our students is to inspire and grow in a college town. Our public high school and public tech center is the largest economic engine in the city of Burlington. And for us to be able to draw students, not only regionally from Chittenden County, but our own students to experience this type of learning is just amazing, and why we do what we do. But that was your firm as well.
Well, so McFarland Johnson was the kind of design lead, but our firm was privileged to be able to do the architecture for it and work with DEW Construction. And that was the renovation, we should say, of a hangar that was built in the 1980s. Entirely, essentially, primarily through that federal grant that Senator Leahy secured. And the old maintenance hangar was transformed into a school, and we're just so happy to have been part of it.
So the south, if you fly out of Burlington or into Burlington, it used to be called Hangar 3, the south side of the airport by the runway, right next to Beta Technologies and a number of other businesses. And so we are thrilled to open today, in this month of August, our Burlington Tech Center aviation, or not just aviation, automotive, design, technology, all STEM programs at the airport. So,
wonderful.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being our guest, as always. Everyone appreciates the update, and we look forward to seeing you probably, I would say, in a couple months.
Sounds good.
After winter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.